911. What's your emergency? There's been a shooting at In-N-Out. People are down. Please send help now. In the background, terrified voices could be heard screaming as callers desperately searched for safety. What should have been an ordinary Saturday afternoon filled with families enjoying lunch suddenly became a race to survive. Within minutes, the parking lot of a newly opened In-N-Out Burger in Twin Falls, Idaho, was transformed into an active crime scene. By the time the gunfire stopped, 3 people had lost their lives, 7 others were wounded, and investigators faced the difficult task of answering a question that still has no clear explanation. Why did this happen? Before we continue, welcome back to Crime Chronicles. If you enjoy factual true crime documentaries based on verified information, please like this video, subscribe to Crime Chronicles, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now, let's examine everything that led to this heartbreaking tragedy. Twin Falls is a city of just over 50,000 residents in southern Idaho. Surrounded by the Snake River Canyon and known for its outdoor attractions, the community has long been viewed as a peaceful place where people raise families, build businesses, and enjoy a quieter lifestyle than many larger cities. News of serious violence rarely dominates local conversations, which is one reason this incident sent shockwaves far beyond Idaho's borders. During the final days of July 2026, excitement centered around the opening of a new In-N-Out Burger. The restaurant had already attracted large crowds before officially welcoming customers. Social media posts showed vehicles lining nearby streets as people waited for hours to try one of the company's famous burgers. For many residents, it wasn't simply another fast food restaurant. It was one of the biggest local events of the summer. On Saturday, August 1st, that excitement continued. Employees arrived expecting another demanding shift. Managers prepared for heavy customer traffic, while families, tourists, and local residents filled the dining area, drive-through, and parking lot. Children laughed while waiting for their meals, friends chatted as they stood in line, and workers focused on keeping up with non-stop orders. Then, shortly after 2:30 p.m., everything changed. A series of gunshots shattered the afternoon. Several witnesses later recalled that the first sounds were confusing. Some believed fireworks had gone off nearby. Others turned toward the noise, without realizing the danger they were facing. Only moments later, fear replaced confusion as people began running in every direction. Customers abandoned trays of food. Parents grabbed their children without hesitation. Employees rushed inside searching for secure locations. Others dropped behind parked vehicles, hoping they would be protected until officers arrived. Even as panic spread, acts of remarkable courage emerged. Instead of fleeing, several bystanders moved toward the injured. They used shirts, towels, and anything available to slow heavy bleeding while waiting for emergency medical teams. Others comforted frightened children who had become separated from relatives during the confusion. At nearly the same time, emergency dispatchers received multiple 911 calls reporting an active shooter. Police officers, firefighters, and paramedics immediately responded from across Twin Falls. Every available resource was directed toward the restaurant as dispatchers continued gathering information from terrified callers. Investigators later confirmed that an off-duty Idaho State Police trooper happened to be near the scene when the attack unfolded. Without hesitation, the trooper confronted the suspected gunman. An armed civilian also engaged the suspect during the incident. Authorities believe those actions interrupted the attack and likely prevented additional casualties, although investigators continue examining every detail of the confrontation. As law enforcement secured the area, paramedics established treatment zones and began helping the wounded. Ambulances transported victims to nearby hospitals, where trauma teams prepared for multiple emergency surgeries. Before the afternoon ended, officials confirmed the heartbreaking toll. 3 people had been killed, including an In-N-Out employee whose workday had begun like any other. 7 additional victims suffered injuries ranging from serious to critical. As darkness approached, the celebration that had brought hundreds of people together was replaced by flashing emergency lights, yellow crime scene tape, and grieving families searching for answers. Detectives worked through the night documenting evidence, collecting surveillance footage, and interviewing everyone who had witnessed the violence. While the investigation had only just begun, One discovery would soon shift the focus of the case. As investigators worked through the evidence collected from the scene, they confirmed the identity of the suspected gunman as 24-year-old Chad Williams. According to law enforcement, he acted alone during the attack. Before officers could take him into custody, he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Although investigators were able to identify him relatively quickly, the biggest question surrounding the case remains unanswered. Officials have not announced what motivated the shooting, and they continue to examine every piece of available evidence before reaching any conclusions. Once the area was declared secure, the restaurant and surrounding parking lot became the center of an extensive investigation. Crime scene investigators carefully photographed the area, collected shell casings, examined damaged vehicles, and searched for anything that could help explain how the attack unfolded. Surveillance cameras from the restaurant and nearby businesses were also reviewed to establish an accurate timeline of events. Detectives spent hours interviewing customers, employees, first responders, and anyone else who witnessed the violence. Each statement, no matter how small, became another piece of the puzzle. Some witnesses described hearing several loud gunshots before realizing what was happening. Others recalled seeing people run in every direction as they searched for safety. Investigators compared those accounts with physical evidence to reconstruct the sequence of events as accurately as possible. Authorities also confirmed that an off-duty Idaho State Police trooper who happened to be nearby immediately confronted the gunman. An armed civilian also responded during the attack. Investigators believe their actions interrupted the shooting and likely prevented even greater loss of life. While detectives continue reviewing every detail of that confrontation, officials publicly recognized the courage shown by those who acted without hesitation to protect others. As investigators continued their work, the Federal Bureau of Investigation joined local and state agencies in assisting with evidence processing and forensic analysis. Law enforcement also encouraged anyone who captured photos or videos during the incident to share them with investigators, explaining that even a few seconds of footage could help clarify unanswered questions. Meanwhile, hospitals continued treating those who had survived the attack. Families remained at the bedside of loved ones, hoping for encouraging news from doctors. For many of the survivors, the road to recovery would involve far more than physical healing. Incidents like these often leave emotional wounds that cannot be seen, affecting victims, relatives, witnesses, and even the first responders who rushed toward danger to save lives. Outside the restaurant, flowers, candles, handwritten notes, and stuffed animals soon covered parts of the memorial area. Residents gathered to pray, comfort one another, and remember the innocent lives that had been taken. Many people who attended had never met the victims personally, yet they felt connected through a shared sense of grief. In a city known for its close-knit community, the tragedy touched countless lives. In-N-Out Burger also released a statement expressing deep sorrow over the loss of one of its employees and extending condolences to every family affected by the shooting. The company pledged to cooperate fully with investigators while providing support to employees impacted by the tragedy. Even with the suspect identified, many questions remain unanswered. What was happening in his life before the attack? Was there any warning that someone could have recognized? Could this tragedy have been prevented? Or was it impossible to foresee? Those are questions investigators continue to examine, and until official findings are released, the answers remain unknown. Cases like this remind us how quickly ordinary moments can change forever. A simple lunch with family, the first day at a new job, or a quick stop for a meal can become a life-altering event without warning. Behind every headline are real people whose futures were forever changed in a matter of minutes. Now we'd like to hear from you. What do you believe investigators should focus on as this case moves forward? Do you think there were warning signs that may have been missed? Or is this one of those tragedies that no one could have predicted? Most importantly, how do communities begin to heal after experiencing violence like this? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. We read them all, and we appreciate hearing different perspectives as long as they remain thoughtful and compassionate toward the victims and their families. If you found this documentary informative, please support Crime Chronicles by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell so you never miss our latest true crime investigations and breaking crime news. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Our hearts remain with everyone affected by this heartbreaking tragedy. Until our next stay safe.